my name is BreAnna Peterson, and I'm going to be performing as Harry Potter from Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I'm using note cards because my memory sucks, but I hope you like this monologue. Hello, my name is Harry Potter. I'm 11 years old and I live with my aunt and my uncle and their son Dudley, a spoiled brat. My parents died when I was a baby and I had no choice but to live with them. My room is located under the stairs in a small room that I sometimes get locked in by my uncle. Dudley always gets what he wants. For his birthday, he got 36 presents and yelled at my uncle that last year he got 37 presents and wanted 2 more. He also got to go to the reptile museum, and at that museum I talked to a snake. Yes, you heard correctly. As I was talking to the snake, Dudley came up and pushed me out of the way, so he could see the snake. I fell on the ground, which of course made me mad. I don't even know what happened or why, but all of a sudden, the glass dividing Dudley and the snake disappeared and made Dudley fall in and the snake escaped. When Dudley tried to get out, the glass had already reappeared. I thought it was kind of funny, but my uncle did not. I didn't get any meals for a week after that. One day I got a letter. It was from a place called Hogwarts. I was going to read it, but as I handed my uncle the mail and started to open up my letter, Dudley snatched it out of my hands and gave it to my uncle. He looked mad as usual at me. The letters kept coming though. I would never get to read them because my uncle would burn them and eventually boarded off the mail slot on the door. Sunday came, my uncle was in a better mood because of course there was no mail on Sundays. But all of a sudden a bunch of letters started coming out of nowhere. And nowhere and everywhere. There were hundreds. I got one! Yes! I was thrilled. Everyone else not so much. I tried to grab one and run to my room, but my uncle caught me and started yelling, "That's it! We're going away, far away, where they can't find us." So then we moved into an island in the middle of the ocean, in a little tier of a castle. On my 12th birthday, I met Hagrid, who broke down the door. My aunt and uncle were terrified of Hagrid. I mean, who wouldn't be? He was a giant. As tall and big as he looked, though, I liked him. Hagrid made me a cake. I never had a cake before, not even of Dudley's cakes. Hagrid also handed me a letter, the same letter that I've been trying to read for 3 months. I read the note out loud. "Dear Mr. Potter, we are pleased to inform you that you have been accepted at Hogwarts School for Witchcraft and Wizardry." I looked up at Hagrid, who then explained to me that my parents were both wizards and that I was one too.
"You're a wizard, Harry."
"I'm a what?"
"You're a wizard."
I wasn't a little confused. Hagrid asked me, "Ever made anything happen when you were angry or upset?" Which of course reminded me about the snake cage accident. Behind my aunt and uncle, who didn't look at all surprised, which probably meant that they already knew, was Dudley eating my cake. All of a sudden, Hagrid waved his umbrella-looking wand and made a pig's tail appear on Dudley's butt. My aunt and uncle were freaking out and started chasing Dudley, who was also freaking out. I laughed because it was hilarious. Hagrid then asked, "So are you going to stay or come?" I waited a moment and then off I went. We went to a bar in London and out the back to a small space with a dumpster and brick walls. Hagrid started tapping the bricks with his wand, and all of a sudden the bricks started moving, and in front of me was a whole new London. This London had shops with wands and broomsticks. The people were all wearing robes. I was very anxious. I looked over my school supply list and realized that I had a lot of shopping to do and no money. Hagrid told me not to worry, and we ended up at the Green Gods, a huge bank. Inside I found my vault that held all of my money. My parents loved me. I've never seen so many gold coins in my life. Hagrid also had something to pick up, some sort of sack. I didn't ask anything though. After some shopping, I had to get a wand. I walked into Ollivander's wall shop. I had said hello a couple of times. Finally, the owner showed up and said, "I was wondering when you would be here to buy your first wand, Mr. Potter." I was wondering how he knew my name, but everyone seemed to know. I tested out many wands, which led to me waving a wand around and seeing things break along with the messy wand shop. After many fails, I got a wand that didn't break anything. It just glowed and made a gust of wind. It was pretty cool, actually. The owner said, "Very curious." I was confused and asked, "What's curious?" In which the owner replied, "I remember every wand I ever sold, Mr. Potter. It so happens that the phoenix of this wand, whose tail feather resides in your wand, gave another feather, just one other. It is curious that you should be destined for this wand when its brother gave you that scar." I of course asked who owned the wand, but the owner only said, "We do not speak his name." I later asked Hagrid. At first he was acting skittish, but finally he told me Lord Voldemort. Hagrid explained that that's how my parents died. Also, I learned that that's why everyone knew my name. I was the boy who lived. By the time I arrived at Hogwarts, I already had two friends, Hermione and Ron. I met them on the train ride at Hogwarts. After a few months there, I learned a lot, but I also started to get suspicious of what Hagrid took at the Gringotts Bank. In the newspaper, the bank was on the front page, saying someone stole from Vault 713, which was the same vault Hagrid got that sack from. My friends and I started to search around, suspecting that Snape, a professor, was trying to steal what was in the vault. I found out what was in the vault was a stone, the Sorcerer's Stone. The Sorcerer's Stone can do two things. One, it can transfer base metals into gold. The second, it creates an immortality potion, the elixir of life. A very powerful stone. I was determined to find it, especially if Snape was after it. The stone, I found out, was guarded by a three-headed dog. Yes, you heard correctly, a three-headed dog, named Fluffy. My friends and I found out from Hagrid, who has a not-so-secret cut mouth, that the sound of a harp was the dogs asleep. But when Hermione and Ron and I got to the room with the dogs, a harp was already playing. I continued my search for the stone, and my friends got left behind dealing with flying keys.
Flying keys!
I was the only one who had to continue. When I got to the last room, there was a mirror and Mr. Quirrell standing by it. As you can imagine, I was completely dumbfounded. I thought for sure Snape was the bad guy. All of a sudden, the edges of the room burst into flames, making it impossible to escape. Mr. Quirrell told me to look into the mirror and to tell him what I saw. What I saw I couldn't believe. It was me in the mirror with the Sorcerer's Stone in my pocket. Then I could feel it appearing in my actual pocket, not just in the mirror. Mr. Quirrell asked me what I saw. I replied nothing. He didn't like that answer. He started taking off his turban. I started to back up. His reflection of the back of his head was in the mirror. In the mirror, it wasn't just the back of Mr. Quirrell's head. What I saw I couldn't believe and definitely didn't want to believe my eyes. Lord Voldemort was on the back of Mr. Quirrell's head.
You know, I've thought a lot about this plan, and I'm not really sure you've thought this all the way through, Lord Voldemort.
Shut up, Mr. Quirrell!
Yes, sir.
Kill him, Voldemort screamed. Mr. Quirrell ran towards me. All at once, he suddenly burst into flames. I passed out from the pain my scar was causing me. I woke up in the Hogwarts hospital room. Dumbledore tried to explain to me what had happened. Lord Voldemort burst into flames due to the protective power your mother left in your skin when she died for you. You were very brave, Harry. That wasn't all what Dumbledore said, but that was the most important part of what he had told me. At least that's what I remember. I don't really remember much of that night. But I do know that Lord Voldemort tried to kill me, and I made a promise to my parents if I found him again, I would kill him.